Alrighty, so I am getting ready to react to the first episode of The Haunting of Bly Manor. I do know a little bit about the show. I have seen The Haunting of Hill House. I know that the show definitely shares a few actors and actresses. I believe the ones that I know of, Nell's actress is the main character of this one. I think Luke's actor is probably the caretaker? He's the guy from the story that may or may not have been a ghost. It's been a very long time since I read this story. I think the young actor that played the father is in this, and I think the young actress that played the mother is in this, and I don't think anyone else is in here. That could be wrong, but I think that's it. So it's definitely, I know the story is going to be based on, it's The Turn of the Screw. Is it? Yeah. Which I think I have read about 1,000,000 years ago. And if I haven't read it, I definitely used to know the plot. I listened to a ton of, especially specifically horror, book podcasts and things like that. So at one point I definitely knew this story, and I have not revisited it in a long time. So I think I've forgotten most of it. The two things that I definitely do remember are that in the book, it is intended to be very ambiguous whether there are actually ghosts involved or if I guess she's a nanny? Governess, maybe? Or if she's just imagining things and kind of going a little bit crazy. And the other thing I know is that it is implied in the story that definitely the male ghost, the man, I want to say he was maybe the groundskeeper or the handyman, maybe? In any case, whoever the dead guy is, there was an implication that he might have been molesting the children, especially the boy. And the former governess, I think, who died, there is, I think it's, I don't remember if it's confirmed or implied that she was involved with him somehow. And there's an implication that she might have also been molesting one or both of the children. I don't know if that is the kind of thing that's going to make it into this show. Especially since, like I said, I am pretty sure that the dead man, who might have been a child molester in the original story, is being played by Luke's actor. I don't know if they would bring the actor over to give him that villainous a role. I don't know. But like I said, I think it was just an implication in the story, and this is, as far as I have heard, this is a very loose adaptation, and I think it actually draws in some like plot details of other works from that author. And I don't know. I think I know two spoilers for this. Actually, no, I know one spoiler. The other thing is in one of the trailers. I think it's supposed to be that the previous, and I don't remember what happened to her in the story, in the book, but I think in this adaptation, it's supposed to be that the previous governess drowned in the lake. And the actual spoiler that I think I know is that I have definitely seen people complaining about the ending in a very specific way. A lot of people have been talking about how this story actually had lesbian representation, but it was very much a bury your gays trope involved, and I don't know if that's going to be that the the previous governess who died was gay and she's the dead lesbian in the background, or if maybe the main girl is gay and she dies. I don't know. But I definitely have seen many people very disappointed by this ending. So I don't know what to make of that. And I don't, just from this onset, I don't have any predictions really to make. I have seen the first 2 trailers. It seems like there's a thing going on with maybe dolls moving, which I don't remember being a thing in the book. And I think the little girl, the first trailer, at the end of the trailer, it's implied that the little girl is talking to some kind of a monster. I don't know if it's a ghost. I don't know if it's a creature. But she doesn't appear to be scared of it, unless they have just cut that in a weird way. In any case, the first episode is called The Great Good Place, and it is 54 minutes long, so let's just get this started.
That means there's a strong probability that you two get to watch each other die. And that's the preferred outcome. To truly love another person is to accept that the work of loving them is worth the pain of losing them. And that's it.
Okay, so whoever she is, she's definitely watched a partner die. Yeah, so the hair and the earrings, even the face, really, is giving me grown-up Stacy from the Babysitter's Club.
By one Lord Henry Wingrave, regarding his young nephew and niece, who were in need of an au pair.
Okay.
One of whom had actually lost their parents.
What's the catch?
Isn't that something she should be asking you?
What? 30.
Seems to me an easy position to fill.
Yeah.
At least as you've described. So I suppose you're right. What is the catch? That really is the question. I know what loss is.
Okay. I know what loss is. She saw a spooky thing in a window. Someone died. And we started with the implication of
I'm gonna be in England a while longer.
losing a partner.
Yeah, quite a while.
Her partner died?
Actually. I got a job.
Are you running from Professor Tomaway? What's with the giant anime glasses? We did see, there was a scene in Hill House. Big glowing eyes like that, but that was the mother. That was Luke and the mom.
I have some bags.
No worries.
And then the glowing eyes turned into headlights. Which is big glowing glasses. Lovely. Big glowing glasses like that does evoke headlights. Maybe she hit someone with her car.
Oh, no. I just haven't got much sleep lately.
Well, hostels aren't terribly
Maybe
restful.
her boyfriend
You'll find it much quieter around here.
was hit by a car.
Oh, there are worse places to be stuck, believe me.
I've actually never liked Bly. The people here, most of them, they're born here, they die.
So she lost someone. She feels like she was stuck somewhere. She feels like... Let me pause this for a second while I think. So, we definitely have a theme of losing a partner. Set up by the frame narrative. She's being haunted by, it looked like a man with headlight glasses. And I think she's seen him in reflective surfaces. So that could be involved somehow. she was on. I didn't catch who she was on the phone with. Maybe like a mom. But that was very clearly a strained relationship there. And she just alluded to feeling that there's worse places to be stuck. So, maybe just got out of an abusive relationship? Maybe? Maybe she had to kill her abuser. That's why she's not running. I don't know. I do know that that was one of the things missing from the Haunting of Hill House adaptation. Because in the novel, a big theme was that Nell, the main character of that book, was running from her sister was like psychologically abusing her. Her sister and her sister's husband, and in the past, her mother had been abusive to her. And she was running away from their attempts to control her life. So with that being an element that was left out of Hill House, maybe that got transferred over to here. Instead of it being a part of Nell's character in that, maybe it was incorporated into this character. Something to watch.
What a gorgeous lake.
Oh, you mustn't. It really is just a smelly old pond. And do you know there are leeches in there? Whole little things like vampire slugs and the nastiest beetles. Who needs that old pond anyway? Miles! She's here! She's here! And she's even prettier
I had thought the previous governess drowned. Maybe there's something in the lake that killed her?
Oh, well, what the gentleman.
No, thank you.
This is Gross. Hi.
Oh, sorry. Goodness, I was miles away.
I'm Danny.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Hannah Gross.
I'm sorry. Oh, no.
Oh! I'm sorry. May I come in?
No. You may go away, and I will lock the door behind you.
Perhaps not.
Spooky child. What are you, 11? Get out of here.
Of course.
What?
It really is very silly, isn't it?
Yes, you're a very silly girl.
Where did you get that?
What?
The butterfly clip.
Oh, Miles gave it to me.
He shouldn't have done that.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Girl, what invisible monster are you looking at, and why are you not hiding it better?
I was wrong. It's actually fine.
Okay.
Get out now. Can I play with my dolls?
Yeah, 15 minutes, okay?
Girl, that one is talking of invisible, I guess, dead women. This one is seeing anime villains over her shoulder in the mirror.
Bedtime.
And I'm finished. Perfect timing.
I want that dollhouse.
Me.
I want to get that dollhouse, and I want to send it back in time and have that dollhouse
Touche.
in my childhood. I always wanted a dollhouse like that.
Who are all these?
Why, they're dolls, of course.
You, miss, have a lot of dolls.
And a dollhouse is such a good
We are going to learn
spooky thing.
how to pick them all up.
It's such a good horror trope. There's a lot of like middle grade horror.
Put her back. She stays there.
A, why? And B, she has the same spooky face that is in the credits.
And you're all tucked in. Don't leave your room at night. Stay in your bed until morning.
I don't think I can promise that. But it's certainly a good rule for you and your brother
But
to...
you must.
how about
Okay.
you at least... You should
At least
just,
for tonight.
just ask the child why. Is she scared of monsters? Is she scared of the dark? Like...
The night
Find out
fell
why
on
she would
Hotel
say that.
Restless. It was as Flora had said.
What do we have? A spooky figure with like a... Why did that look like a plague mask?
Wow, I'll never get tired of this place, I swear.
Your room. Come and see.
Why?
So she doesn't see
Who?
She who?
the lady.
Okay, so this was in the trailer.
The lady in the lake.
Flora.
I think you're waving at a ghost. Unless I think he really was dead in the book. Not that that means they can't change it here. Could just end up being a creep. Living in the abandoned part of the house.
Gardner did not even introduce herself to the new au pair. She barely acknowledged her at all. Simply treated her as if she'd always been there. The others in
So
the
if this
room
is...
assumed they'd already
Yeah, if
met.
this is supposed to be modern day...
Which, if she were honest, was how the au pair felt when she first saw the young woman.
The storyteller is definitely not old enough to be... I mean,
We're not gremlins.
the storyteller is definitely too old to be Flora, but she could be this woman.
See, I'm not so sure.
Well, you're not gonna eat anything?
Oh, no, I already ate. Just here for the company.
You must try this.
Lord, don't.
I wonder if that's a thing. That's the second time she hasn't eaten in front of anyone.
What are the candles for?
We're dead. It's more than I'd like the older I get.
I'm sorry.
Oh, God, no need. I have been, and I remain a very happy woman.
How many candles is she burning for the dead? 4? Who are the 4 dead? Because she claims that the man left. Jessel? The parents. Who's the 4th dead?
I'm sorry. You know, you need to make sure that you pick these up. I would hate to break. Okay.
Girl, tell him that he has to come in there and help you look for it. And now you're locked in a closet.
Guys, open it.
No, you're not.
Miles. I'm being serious.
Are you being serious or are you
Open
having
the
a
door.
panic attack? Girl, I don't think that's gonna help. Yeah, you're gonna want to sit down, maybe curl up in a little ball or something until they open it.
Guys!
Okay, evolving theory. It's like a Carrie White situation, and maybe that's her dad, and her dad has definitely locked her in a closet before.
Are you outside?
Although those footsteps look like they're about the same size as your foot, so maybe it's something to do with, maybe the dolls are... Did the footsteps go to the lake? Because if the footsteps go to the lake, maybe it's that she's using the doll to, like, ward off whatever's in the lake. Okay, so let's see. That was the first episode. Very interesting first episode. They keep showing this doll scene, this creepy fucking, the doll like sits up in the preview, and we haven't seen that yet. But there's definitely something to do with spooky dolls. And spooky dolls is a very good horror trope. It's a good horror trope. I'd say spooky doll houses, I think, is more fun because you see that less often. You see spooky dolls all the time. At the moment, having just seen this first episode, I think I'm more interested in the surrounding characters than the primary three. Primary three being the nanny, the son, and the daughter. The son is creepy as fuck. The daughter is also creepy, but in a thankfully very different way than the son. The son is like budding puberty creepy with like a weird like testing of boundaries in just like a very boy on the cusp of manhood, trying to see what he can get away with when it comes to a young woman who is supposedly in a position of authority over him, but he's also technically her employer. Like, he has a position of authority over her just by being the one who could very easily get her fired. Or potentially kill her. Because we don't know for sure what has happened to any of these dead people. But the little girl is also very creepy. The little girl seems to be seeing ghosts or has some kind of a relationship with this thing in the lake. Maybe that's the dead woman who might have drowned, but it just says she killed herself. I assume she must have drowned since there's a woman in a lake. I assumed that was the same person, but it might not be. It might be that. Yeah, no, they did say that she walked into the lake and she drowned. So, yeah, I would think that she is, if there is any kind of monster ghost something in the lake, I would assume it is her, not that it's something that got her. But, and then I really look forward to seeing what they do with these two dead people. Luke from Hill House and the previous nanny. I'm interested in that mystery more than right now the ghost stuff has hooked me. And obviously it's tied together, but right now, as it stands, the ghost stuff is a little bit more tied into the children's behavioral issues, and I don't care at all about the children's behavioral issues. They're just creepy kids. I don't like them, and I don't love the nanny either. I am a little bit interested in the thing that she's seeing, but I don't know. For some reason, it's not really striking me as something that's going to be tied into like the overall thing. It's definitely striking me as something that's going to be just character development stuff for her. And since I don't love her character, I don't really care right now about her backstory. But as the details come out, that might make her phenomenally more interesting. I'm pretty sure I just said phenomenally. So that's fun. It might make her phenomenally more interesting. Who knows? Mostly, I think right now, I'm really interested in the housekeeper. She seems great. She seems really compassionate, and she definitely has some kind of a little mystery surrounding her. She was just completely spaced out in the first scene that we saw her. She definitely has a big religious theme going on, which could go in any direction and have anything behind it. Could just be a character detail, could tie into everything else somehow. But this thing about her, twice she's been on screen when other people were eating, she has specifically not eaten. So I'm wondering if there might be something going on, like she's sick, or I don't know. I'm very interested to see what happens with her. There is a distinct possibility. We just saw this. I think she was a gardener. We just saw her for like 2 seconds, but I do know somehow in this story there are lesbians involved. Since, who was it? The housekeeper said, Mrs. Sprouse? Something like that. She said that the previous governess was romantically entangled with Luke from Hill House, whose name I don't recall in this. So I guess, I would guess that means she's not going to be our lesbian representation. She could be. Doubt it. Which leaves me with there's 3 other female characters. I don't think it's going to be the older woman, the housekeeper, which leaves the 2 young women. So I'm going to keep an eye on those 2. And we'll see what happens there. But if those 2 do get involved, I'm fully expecting one or both of them to die, which is not great. I don't remember in the original story if the governess dies. I think the little boy does. I think so. Or he almost does. I think he dies. I think he dies in the book. But honestly, I have no concrete predictions right now because it's just the first episode. I don't have, solid evidence to back up any kind of theory at this point. I'm just very interested to see how everything plays out. Hill House was just the way the story unfolded, you could tell that there was actual talent and thought behind it. And I'm hoping for that to be the case here too, which is just honestly delightful. I love a good story, properly told. Even if it's not perfect, just literally just being able to see that the author actually has some talent and put effort and care into it is just such a lovely, lovely relief. In any case, I'm going to be watching the next one as soon as I can. I don't think I'm going to have time for it today. But I'm going to finish this story. I'm going to finish this series within this week. And then it's all going to go, the full-length reactions are all going to go on Patreon as soon as I can get them uploaded. By the time you're seeing this on YouTube, I will have reacted to the entirety of Bly Manor over on my Patreon, which you can go check out whenever you want, or you can wait to see it week to week on YouTube. YouTube version is obviously going to be edited, depending on how strict the copyright claims are on, the automated copyright system is on YouTube. They might be very short, they might be like 10 minutes, I don't know. We'll see how that works out, but on Patreon, everything will be full length. You get to see everything. Watch it with me. After I finish Bly Manor, I'm going to immediately start Midnight Mass, which is the next Mike Flanagan's show. I think it's shorter. I don't know anything about that one other than Theo, his wife, the creator's wife, is in that one in some capacity. And for some reason, the star is Hamish Linklater, who I only know him from the Julia Louis-Dreyfus series from the mid-2000s, which I loved. But it's so strange to see him in a horror show, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, so after I'm done with this, that's what I'm going to be doing. After that, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be working out some kind of a system where patrons are going to be able to sway, if not pick, what I'm going to be watching every week. The system that I think I'm going to be working with is that every week I'm going to watch something or half of something. Like either half of a 22 or so episodes season of something, or like a full 10 episode season of something every week. So maybe on Fridays or something, I'll put up a short poll that patrons can, influence or outright pick what exactly I'm going to be watching for the next week. But we're going to see how that goes. Everything on YouTube is going to be on a week-to-week basis. And I don't know. We'll see how this goes. You'll find my Patreon in the description. And do with that information what you will. So I will be back with the next reaction on Patreon tomorrow or on YouTube next week.